And welcome to the Barry Foster Show, coming to you from the studios, the Rich Forest Studios in beautiful downtown Avon Park. If you have any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions for guests you'd like us to have, topics you'd like us to broach, anything else, just put them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. And I've been told to remind you, subscribing to the YouTube channel does not cost you a dime. It's like following on Facebook. So please like and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts, ideas, and suggestions, and we'll get to them as quickly as we can. Right now, we have Nicholas Softy on the phone, who is the state and local field manager for the Federation for American Immigration Reform. Nicholas, good to have you with us, my friend.
Hey, Barry, how's it going? Good to be here on this rainy DC morning on a Friday, August 1st. Happy to be here, and I'm happy to talk immigration with you.
Yeah, since I began on the radio back in the late 1980s, immigration reform is something that's been on the top of our list. We've gone from vdare.com, named after Virginia Dare, through a bunch of the Minutemen who were down on the border, and just a whole litany of things. And more recently, it seems like there's some actual movement in immigration reform. And I know that with Donald Trump and his work to deport illegals who have first committed any kind of crime, and now just illegals in general, to send them back to their countries of origin until they come back the right way. The Federation for American Immigration Reform, or FAIR as it is known, the FAIR, you guys over at FAIR must be very, very happy about the way things are going.
Oh, yes, Barry. You know, deportations are a good thing. They're great for the country. Currently, we're estimating that there's roughly about 200, there has been about 250,000 deportations to date. That's an estimated number. Because the last time I checked, the online dashboard for removals has not been updated since December of last year. So, so that's a little bit troubling. But it's, we're estimating around 250,000 deportations have occurred, and that is indeed significant. And the Trump administration is off to a good start. This obviously serves the interests of the American taxpayers, but I want to emphasize to the listeners here that the recent deportations are just the tip of the iceberg. And this, considering that according to FAIR's recent population study, we estimate that there's about 18.6 million illegal aliens in the country, that this number, this 250,000 number, represents way less than 1% of the total number of illegal aliens residing in the country. So, and this costs taxpayers over $150.7 billion on an annual basis. So this is a very expensive thing that we're allowing to happen in our country. More work remains. More deportations, the better. And we hope that this can be perhaps aided by illegal aliens who choose to self-deport, with the new CBP Home app that was recently rolled out. I read a report recently that there was an estimated 1 million illegal aliens that were self-deporting, have self-deported, which is great. We believe that self-deportations are the best way for these individuals to get back into their home countries. It saves a lot of trouble with ICE agents, considering that ICE agent assaults are up by like 700%. That's why they're masking themselves. They're being doxxed and they're being attacked and their families are being threatened. So, for an ICE agent to go into these communities and forcibly take these individuals out, it puts the alien at risk, it puts the community at risk, and it puts the ICE agent at risk. So at FAIR, we would prefer that these people self-deport before ICE catches up with them.
Well, for the past 30 years or so, at least since I've been tracking it, there has been a steady stream of illegals coming into the country because the United States on the southern border, and to be honest, on the northern border, there's a lot of areas where you can come through virtually unchecked. But over the past 4 years, in the past administration, that was ramped up significantly, and even during the Obama years, it was ramped up significantly. Do you guys have any kind of numbers of what you think came into the country during that time?
Yes. Under the previous administration, we're talking the Biden administration, We over 10 million largely unvetted illegal aliens uh, came into our nation. Now, this includes, Barry, over 500,000 unaccompanied minors. And these aliens came from across the planet. We're talking over 160 different countries. They poured into American neighborhoods, and this obviously creates financial, societal, and national security crises of local, state, and national importance. To put this in perspective, Barry, just to, to really hammer home the point here, in a 12-month period under the previous administration, CBP encountered a stunning 3.2 million illegal aliens attempting to enter our country. That's 7,000 people per day on average. And per month, that's 250,000 people being shuffled into American big cities. We're talking places like New York City, Los Angeles, Boulder, Colorado, Chicago, our major metropolitan areas. And this isn't immigration. I want your viewers to realize this. This is not aligned with historical norms of immigration. This is not a process that is sustainable. It's an invasion facilitated by policies like catch and release that allowed aliens entrance into the country while they await immigration hearings that may never come. In fact, a report by the House Judiciary Committee found that less than 1% of illegal aliens were deported under the Biden administration. Here's another interesting fact, Barry, that there was roughly 2 million illegal alien gotaways, and these are known gotaways. These are individuals that evaded border agents and gained unfettered access into the interior of the republic. And I want everybody to realize that is listening to this, and it's troubling, that these are the known gotaways, 2 million. The unknown gotaways that Border Patrol has no clue, they kind of just, border agents don't even know if they entered. We don't know what that number is, and we don't know who these people are. We don't know what their intentions are or where they're currently residing. This is a national security crisis, and this is a public safety crisis. And I want all of the viewers to understand that this is a problem that needs to be addressed, and this goes back to deportations. A lot of these people coming here, we're being told by the media that these people are economic migrants, which a lot of them are. But we really don't know what the intentions of these individuals are unless they're vetted through the legal pathways outlined in immigration law. And it's so crucial that we get a handle on our borders, like you talked about, Barry, not just the southern border, but also the large, vast northern border, which a lot of the drug smuggling is coming through, especially in places like the corridor up there in New York. A lot of drugs are coming through there because, the cartels that smuggle drugs into our country are not stupid. They find ways to get in. And if our southern border gets plugged up, they'll find the northern border. They'll find the coastal ways to get in. They're a multi-billion-dollar operation, and they have millions of people under their employment. So they're not stupid, and they're going to try to find a way to smuggle drugs, smuggle guns, and smuggle people into our country so they can keep their pocketbooks well fed, so to speak.
And so, again, I want to go back to most of the illegal alien on the southern border is perceived as being people from Mexico, people from South America, and that's nothing could be further from the truth. It's people from China, it's people from the Middle East. I mean, there's people from all over the world.
Correct. Like I specified, over 160 countries. We're seeing great increases. There's always been people from Mexico coming across the Northern Triangle, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, South America. We've always seen that, but now we're seeing, in the Western, in the New World, so to speak. Now we're seeing a lot of old world migrate. We're seeing people from China. We're seeing people from Russia, people from Iran. We're seeing people from the Middle East, Africa, Somalia, Ethiopia. We're seeing people from all across the world. And, that's big. This is a big world. There's over 8 billion people in this world. And we can't take in the world in this country. We don't have the resources to do so, and we can't properly vet that many people. So we have to draw a line to how many people we allow in the country, and to when they get here, what benefit can they provide to the American citizenry and to the republic in its totality. And it's a big problem.
This is a hard thing to track because people illegally come in the United States, they self-deport, and there's no there's no turnstiles. There's no way to count the numbers as they come and they go. The Trump administration has made it somewhat easier. And on the carrot side, as I understand it, there's a program that says, "Look, we'll give you free transportation back to your country of origin and $1,000 American for you to self-deport if you came here illegally." Do we have numbers on how that's working?
Yes. So that was an order outlined by the current president. You are correct. Like I specified, I read a report. There's really no real number per se that's like definitive on this, but I read a report suggesting that potentially already about 1 million people have self-deported, which, if true, is fantastic. That's awesome. And, like I said previously about deportations, at FAIR, we believe more deportations, the better. The same thing goes for self-deportations. The more, the better, because we put ourselves in a bit of a pickle here, Barry. We have over almost 20 million people here in this country illegally. That's like the equivalent of New York City, what, over double?
Yes.
So it's a massive number of people. It's a big percentage of our country that aren't supposed to be here. And if we can get these numbers up, which we're seeing, that's always a good thing.
On the other side, the stick side of the carrot and the stick, we see alligator Alcatraz, which is a very, very high profile, catchy name, catchy title with a governor and a president who are 100% behind it. And I read a piece which said, alligator Alcatraz in and of itself to deport some of the worst does a good job, but it's also a deterrent. It also makes the free ride home a little bit brighter when you could be going to a place in the middle of the Everglades and being held in some place very unpleasant. It's rather a great deterrent to people who want to come and stay in this country, as a friend of mine used to say, without portfolio.
Yeah, and I've seen. I'm sure you know that there was like a tour given to some legislators on the facilities at I can't say it, Alligator Alcatraz, and personally, I think it's actually not. The other side of the aisle of my position wants to say that they're being treated inhumanely and it's against their human rights. I don't see that. I personally don't see that. I think everything is above board and everything looks and seems to be in accordance with the proper standard of care given to individuals based on their human rights. So I would say that these individuals are being treated in a way that aligns with their human rights. And I don't know if you saw, Barry, but recently reports emerged that the Department of Homeland Security is going to be offering a new grant program to make available over $600 million in funds to help states open new detention facilities for illegal aliens. And this effort marks, another win for the current administration, which would definitely push and ramp up deportations. Because, Barry, I'm sure both of us know here that if we're going to deport individuals, by law, they need to be given detention space prior to deportation. If they're not given detention space, oftentimes they're sent back into communities with ankle monitors. And, this is a problem. This causes issues like fleeing, et cetera, flight risks and such. And we believe it's fair that strong partnerships between state and federal agencies is the key to removing the millions of illegal aliens in the United States and enforcing our federal immigration laws. And we remain committed to advocating for efforts similar to creating and constructing detention facilities like Alligator Alcatraz to keep American neighborhoods safe and reverse the damage caused by the open borders policies of the previous administration. So we think that places like Alligator Alcatraz are great, excuse me, and there should be more funding available to open up more of these detention facilities, because if we want to ramp up deportations, it is, important that we provide and fund proper detention space. Otherwise, we can never reach the apex of the amount of deportations we could potentially do. So
Nicholas, as this administration begins to ramp up its efforts, is FAIR looking at changing or increasing their lobbying efforts? Are there certain areas, I don't know, in terms of border security or asylum or e-verify? I mean, are there areas that you are looking at to get better or more attention in terms of solving the illegal immigration problem?
Oh yes, there's always things in our space, to get done. There's always problems that need a solution, and there's always solutions that need a better solution. So, at FAIR, we have four pillars of our work. That's investigation, litigation, legislation, and education. So those are our four pillars that we stand upon. And in each pillar, we're doing great work. Investigation, we're running investigations to see how state and local and federal entities we're investigating to see if they are operating in accordance with the law. And if they are not operating in accordance with the law, then we have to expose that. That often happens in the court of public opinion through our podcasts, our news articles, through our lobbying efforts, and letting our elected officials know that this is an issue, that whether or not they're aware of it, that this needs to get resolved, and it's in the interest of your constituents to get this done. Another pillar is litigation. So we do investigation, and then obviously if there's an issue that is against the law, we litigate against it. We have a team of lawyers that are willing to file lawsuits and do FOIA requests. FOIA request also falls under investigation, but they go together. So we have investigation, we have litigation, we have legislation. So we work with legislators to get our objectives and provisions put into bills. For instance, we were pivotal talking to lawmakers during the passage of the Lake and Riley Act, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, and the Halt Fentanyl Act, and previous bills in FAIR's history. Like, we really, FAIR has been around, for your viewers to know, we've been around since 1979. We've been around for 45 years, and we have about 3 million supporters across the country. From a diverse coalition of supporters. We're a 501c3 nonpartisan nonprofit. So we have people on both the Democrat, Republican, whatever your political party is. We don't really care. We just want everybody to come and align on the interest of American immigration policy reform. If you agree with us on policy, we don't care what your political party is. We'd love to take you in and make America better. But back to what I was originally saying, Barry. So we have litigation, investigation, legislation. We're doing great work on the state, local, and federal levels to pass legislation. Big thing we're doing is fighting sanctuary policies. So we're pushing to put anti-sanctuary laws on the books, on these state constitutions, on the county level, on the city level. If a county or city is promoting sanctuary law, which does conflict with federal law, we're going to fight against that. We're going to work with local activists, local legislators to push and make sure that these sanctuary laws are off the books. We're working to stop illegal aliens from getting driver's licenses. We're working to stop illegal aliens to become police officers, which is a thing which I never thought I would say as an American, that we're allowing illegal aliens to become police officers, which is terrible. So that's a problem. And the final thing we're doing, Barry, which is where I come in personally at FAIR, is education. We're educating the public. We're educating lawmakers. We're educating whoever. We're educating on social media. We have 444,000 subscribers on Twitter. We're educating on Facebook, where we have 2.2 million followers on Facebook. And we're educating on YouTube, where we have 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're always educating. We want the public to know. We believe that transparency is key in any democracy, in this nation. Transparency provides knowledge to the people, and as we both know, knowledge is power. So we want the people to get this information. We want them to know what is the current state of the republic, what is the current state of the county in which they are residing. And personally, Barry, what I do at my job is, my role at FAIR is to develop productive relationships with the public. So I'm talking, the general public, stakeholders, legislators, and I go into communities. I go to colleges, Barry. I talk to young people. I give presentations on college campuses. I give presentations at local groups. on the state of American immigration. I bring these individuals in. I let them know that their voice is heard. FAIR acts as an amplifier for their voice. I'm sure you got the email, Barry, but recently we did a testimonial on the big beautiful bill, and we wanted to hear the voices of the American people. What is your opinion on this pivotal and highly consequential law that was just passed? And I act as a liaison between the powers that be, whether they be on the state, local, or federal level, and the American people. And we believe that connection is crucial to any well-regulated and well-governing republic. So, it's a lot. It's a big mouthful there, Barry, but we're doing such great work here at FAIR, and I want the people to know. And if anybody's interested, they can always reach out at fairus.org. You can send me a personal email. My email's on the website. I'm the activist representative at FAIR. My contact information is on the website. You can shoot me an email. If you're seeing going on in your local community, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. I'm a passionate guy. I care about this issue, and I'd love to hear from you.
Hey, I just want to back up here for a second. You go to what is your reception on the college campuses when you begin to talk about some of the issues that we've addressed here today?
So it is an uphill battle. There is an appetite for this on college campuses. I do get invited to quite a lot of college campuses from various groups that want to hear my opinion. This ranges from, your local GOP groups to debate groups to I've given lectures. I'm giving a lecture at a campus in November on the history of immigration to a group of political science students. So it ranges. Philosophy clubs, I don't know if I said that, but I speak to philosophy clubs. They want to talk about the philosophical components of the immigration debate. So it's varied, but it is an uphill battle, Barry, because as we all know, a lot of these universities are funded and they are employed by people who don't agree with me on the issue of immigration. Yes. They fight for the other side of the issue. And the students, as a result, are given a line of indoctrination. They're propagated to. They're told a certain narrative of the immigration debate, which is contrary to my position on the issue. And my job is an uphill battle. But you know what? Every day, Barry, I take my sword and my shield, and I slay the dragons of misinformation. And I let the people know, you don't have to agree with me, but at least if you know the other side of the issue, you can't remain ignorant of that issue. So, yeah.
So Nicholas, you mentioned also your levels of social media, the Facebook, the YouTube, and are you seeing now, as people begin to hear so much about illegal immigration, are you seeing a bump there? Are you seeing more people coming in?
Oh, yes. And, we're seeing FAIR is a growing operation. We're hiring people. We have, as you know, Barry, we talked about this previously. We have young, happy, passionate, hopeful, enlightened people that I love working with. We have people, activists, we have fundraisers, we have policy people. We've developed a diverse group of like-minded, professional, on-point people at FAIR, which I want to shout it from the rooftops, that people that are out there and are passionate about this issue. And as a result, we're seeing great increases in our social media presence. We're seeing every single month, we're seeing improvements, 20% improvements, 30% improvements, 40% improvements. We're seeing great numbers. We're seeing our membership skyrocket as we get the message out. And this says a lot about the appetite of the American people for our position on immigration, that when they are told our position that, illegal immigration and mass migration in general has injurious, harmful consequences to the future of this country, that by providing solutions that FAIR proposes on the immigration debate, that we can reduce the harmful effects of uncontrolled immigration on things like the economy, national security, education, the healthcare system, the environment, and the rule of law. And then when people are being told that FAIR is in Capitol Hill, we're in state and local halls, talking to state and local legislators. We're in the courts. We're across the nation. We're in the media. We're on pretty much every single media outlet. You know that we're challenging these individuals, those in positions of power, and we're telling them that fair is here. We are the voice of the unheard in this country, and we don't like the way this country's run, and we want to take control of our nation, and we have to support strong borders, and we have to enforce immigration law as outlined by federal law. And we let people know that a nation without a border is not a nation, and that every crime committed by an illegal alien in this country is a wholly preventable crime that never needed to happen if we just enforced our laws. Things like that. And that this nation is worth fighting for. And we're being told so many lies in the media about immigration, Barry, that Americans are too lazy and too stupid to do the jobs, and we have to outsource to foreign labor and blah, 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 which is all a fiction. It's all a lie. And, people like us at FAIR oftentimes, shoved under the rug and told that our position is wrong and wrong-headed or whatever term the other side wants to do. But what I was talking about previously is we have people in our employment now who reject this, who know the facts, and are people like me who are willing to challenge this mainstream narrative and to let people know that you don't need to hide under a rock if you believe what FAIR believes, that you're actually in the right, and that the government deserves to hear your opinion. As we're seeing, Barry, in victory after victory after victory on all levels of government, that there is an appetite for this. The people that are listening to this, if you agree with FAIR's mission, you are not alone, and that we want you to join our mission. Reach out to us, subscribe to our Twitter, subscribe to our Facebook, check us out on YouTube. We're always posting up-to-date facts information. Check out our website. We're doing reports. We just did a wonderful report on the population study. We just did a wonderful report on remittances. We're always active. We do articles almost every single day on the most up-to-date immigration news. Check us out. We're a great organization. And, this goes back to what you were saying, Barry. We're on the move. We're a growing organization, and we've been growing for 45 years, and we're going to continue to grow for another 45.
So Nicholas,
God willing.
if people want to get involved, I'd like to be an activist. I'd like to donate. I'd like to do something. I'd like to report an illegal alien. What's the best way for them to get in touch with you and get all this information and more?
Yeah, so if you'd like to get in touch with me on the website, there is a section. I believe it's like, contact FAIR's activist representative. My information is on the website. You can shoot me an email. If you go to fairus.org, on our website, it has our phone number. If you want to mail us something, there's a mailing address. It has everything there on the website. It's actually one of the best websites on immigration that I've ever seen. It covers the gambit of every single thing related to immigration. We have an about page where we talk about our mission, values, and vision and values. We have an issues page. We talk about things. We give rundowns of things like amnesty, legal immigration, illegal immigration, sanctuary policies, workforce and economy, societal impact, crime, asylum, e-verify. We have a history of U.S. immigration laws. We have a news and media section. We talk about litigation, legislation, and policy. We have a research section, and we have a get involved section where we have a take action portal. We have an activist resources page. We have a page on how to report illegal aliens, which you just said, Barry. We have a section where we can join our activist network. And of course, if you love FAIR's mission, we always welcome donations. We are a 501c3. We are not funded by interest groups. We're funded solely by donors, people like you listening who believe in our mission and want to, give us a buck and say, keep doing what you're doing, FAIR. We love what you're doing. On the state and local level, I recommend when I do my speeches, some actionable steps that local activists can do. This means, testifying at a local city council or town board meeting, signing petitions and attending peaceful protests. If there's a peaceful demonstration in your neighborhood, I highly recommend going. It's a great way to meet people that agree with you, to network, and to build those strong communities and coalitions. That's how we act as a force multiplier. That's how we, accrue power, and that's how we gain societal influence. Developing these networks is so crucial. We talk about social media. posting facts and figures and opinions on social media is so important. Places like YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook are probably in the history of mankind, the most powerful medium to get your voice heard in the history of humankind. So I highly recommend to use these tools to amplify your voice to the greatest number of people. Don't underestimate the power of social media posting. I always recommend people to volunteer for local campaigns. If there's a local campaign in your area, whether it be on the state, I always tell people to start small, local. It's the easiest way to get involved and then move your way up. And if you see a politician that aligns with your interests on immigration, they believe in a strong border, they believe in, what ICE's work is doing, they believe that amnesties are not good, et cetera, join the campaign. There's nothing stopping you. These local candidates are always looking for passionate people to volunteer and support their mission. And finally, Barry, I always tell people to, if they can, run for office. If you think that your elected officials aren't doing the job that you want to see done on immigration in your nation, run for local office. Join a local school board. Run for mayor, run for assembly member, run for council member, whatever you want to run for, do it. You can do it. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. And I always want to give people that power. I want to give people that motivation and that encouragement that if you don't like the way the country's run and you want strong borders and you want strong immigration enforcement and you want to create America that is better and more sustainable for future generations of American citizens, jump into the arena, make your voice heard, and maybe you can get some real meaningful change done. So that's a lot to take in, Barry, but that's what I'm going to say to that.
Nicholas, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being with us. Listening to you is like drinking from a fire hose, man. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk to us, sir.
Oh, Barry, I loved it. We've talked before, and I'm somebody that always loves to talk about immigration. I've been doing this job for many years, and I love it. I love talking to people like yourself, Barry, who are passionate, patriots on this issue, who get it. People who get the immigration debate, and it's been a pleasure. It really has.
Nicholas Softy from the Federation for American Immigration Reform. Excuse me. If you want to find out more, you can go to www.fairus, that's FAIRUS.org. But believe me, if you do an internet search for Nicholas Softy and FAIR, his name and his picture will pop right up. So, Nicholas, thank you again so much for being with us. You've been listening to the Barry Foster Show, coming to you from the studios in the city of Charm, beautiful downtown Avon Park. Any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions, put them in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Subscription is free. Like and subscribe to the page if you would. That would help us out a lot. Remember, we also have a Facebook page, and we also have Instagram if you like social media. So as we continue to look for truth, justice, and the American way. This is Barry Foster, and we'll see you next time.